and the director, and we're going to talk about. We are closing out the year with Austin Comedy Film Festival Fall 2022 and Austin After Dark Film Festival Fall 2022. Both are very different events in the content that they're showing, but they're in the same venue and just one day apart. We'll have Austin After Dark on the 7th and Austin Comedy on the 8th. And believe it or not, we have a film that got into both. And that film is called Curiosity by Tasha Hardy. And we're going to talk to her about this film and her co-creator and the whole story behind it. Hi, Tasha. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, this is awesome. Curiosity, we're ready to show. It's nominated for the Best Dark Comedy Film Award as well as Best Director Award at Austin Comedy Film Festival. So congrats. The judges at both groups have high praise for you.
Thank you. And thanks to the judges and yourself for having us. We're really excited.
Appreciate it. So let's talk about the synopsis of the film. I don't want to ruin it. Basically, just tell me what it's about.
Sure. So it's about a lonely retired mailman who has a not so secret life of kind of spying on his neighbors and getting into other people's business. He tries to overhelp them kind of against their will. In this scenario, basically he thinks he sees his neighbor who he's in love with get kidnapped, and he enlists the help of his much younger friend, cop wannabe, best friend, to help him save her. So it's very, it's like in one room, and it's basically them trying to figure out what to do next after she's been kidnapped.
Exciting stuff. I love the film. I recognize the actor. You got to tell us about how you found the actors for your film.
Yeah, so I emailed Bob Clendenin about 6 years ago off of his website. It was when his email was still on his website. He's a pretty recognizable actor, but I thought I'd just try, besides IMDb, just to see if it was up there, and it just happened to be up there. And he said he'd be attached to it. And then he introduced me to, years later, John Lear, and then it's kind of spiraled from there. John introduced me to Joe Reitman. But I got really lucky. I just, the first contact was just an email off a website, and it just, I got, like I said, I just got really lucky after that, meeting people through the other people.
Okay. Good stuff. So creatively, why did you and your co-creator want to create this film, and talk about that a little bit? Why create this?
Sure. So I tend to write like buddy comedies, and I almost always start out with a character, like someone I meet that kind of inspires me to continue on and make a bigger story around them. And my stepdad is a retired mailman. He's a little bit nosy. I mean, definitely not as much as in the film, but his best friend is a cop wannabe kid who's like 25 years old, and they kind of pal around this little town in Michigan together and get into like little bits of trouble, which is like basically they got a parking ticket one day or something, like very, very nothing that anyone would ever want to see or care about. But I thought, what if he was like a stalker? and what if like, but it was more innocent than something really deep, that he just like really wanted to help people. So he would kind of get into their business, and then he would get in trouble, and it kind of came from there. And it started out really sort of like a kooky comedy, kind of like My Name is Earl type deal. And then James Sunshine, the director I brought in, he's like, I think we should make this a little bit darker, kind of like Barry. And so we started talking about that different tone change, and it kind of transformed into a darker comedy from there.
All right. And what about, any run into any technical snags on the way when you were making this one? What was production like?
We did run into technical snags. So, well, first of all, it was during, one of the worst times of COVID, and I was producing it in Texas. But I was producing it pre-production in Texas, but I didn't really know anyone. I never worked with them before in LA. So it did a ton of work here. And then I just kind of showed up on set in production. We, as you know, this is a crazy thing. So we did really well with all of the departments as far as like the people that we hired and et cetera, but we kind of fell short with the sound, and there were some sound issues that we weren't aware of until much later on. And actually you were the one who pointed that out and made a huge difference in my film festival career. So thanks for that.
Oh, thank you.
No, this is a transformational moment for us. But we just, we kind of went into that mind hive thing of like, we were all looking at it for different reasons, and we missed some stuff with the sound. And so that was something I really learned as a filmmaker. Is, they always tell you that in film school, like, don't skip on the sound. You're like, yeah, fine, whatever. But that's the thing that we actually spent the least amount of time and money on after all that, people telling me that for years. So it was a good education.
Well, we do watch these films. That's the thing. We watch them, and we want every film to be successful on screen. And I'm glad that we could talk about that a little bit. Glad I could help a little, but you're the one who did the work. So congrats. It sounds great. Looks great. Very funny film. You make the judges look good on this one. A little quirky, I'd say, but that's okay. That's kind of like the identity of Austin and Austin.
Yeah,
Film
yeah, yeah.
It's not always just the clear cut, Seinfeld type of humor. So good job with this one. What is going on in the future with you?
So, so John Lear is the consulting producer for this, and he wants to do a not a dark comedy, but probably it's more of a drama. It's maybe a little bit comedy in it, but it's a silent film called "I Love You So Much." It could be a TV series. We're probably going to do that. I was going to try and do it in like 3 or 4 months, and I'm like, nope, not with all this film festival stuff. I'm like, let's wait another 8 months. So I think we're going to do another proof of concept in 8 months. And then I have just several scripts I'm working on, TV pilots I'm constantly polishing and sending out and all that. So I've got still the writing stuff in the background quite a bit.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time. What's the best way for someone to get in contact with you if they want to reach out?
I think Facebook is where I'm most responsive.
Okay. We'll put a link in the description for that. And is there anything else you want to add before we go?
Nope, that's it. Thanks again for having me. And I'm really excited. And to all the judges, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks for your time. See you at the festival.
Thank you.